Normally, we go overseas to have someone who share from another overseas, but because of certain changes in the program, today we are going to have someone that's different.
而美编的部分是我们台北的建林师兄哈，那大家可以看到是这边有2张，这是我们芝加哥的执行长，雅美世界师兄
CEO of Chicago.
然后在这个当下里面，他前天就给我一个讯息，那个讯息就说现在
He gave me a message 2 days ago.
所以这表示什么？
say that we are still having snowfall. Normally, we don't have snowfall in April, but this time there is. So Chicago is still falling snow.
好，你看，这是3月底的
So you can see the April weather has gone cold again.
所以您就可以看到整个气
So you can see the climatic changes that are so real. So Dr. Peng say that this wind waves have really changed our weather.
令人不禁怀疑2016年好，的确就是今天我听广播的时候呢，就是他们还提醒说，现在冬天的衣服还不见得要马上收起来。
So they still cannot keep their winter wear because really the weather is still pretty cold. By right, it should be spring, but yet we don't see the signs of spring coming on very quickly. And in the central zone, we can see that the thunders are pelting down. So this year, the water level is going to rise. So it's definitely going through a period of thunder and rain. So it seems like in 2021, we actually have 1,200 episodes of the thunder pelting down. Chiayi, Tainan, and another area is truly among the top most pelted down in terms of thunder and lightning.
彭博士呢，常常就在气候的一个会议的时候，就是到各个地方去代表慈济去发声，然后去推动。那这2位呢，其实也是我们团队，一位是雨香。
These two are actually from our team, and we realized that vegetarianism has really gone global.
去参加了以后呢，就回来跟上人去做报告哈。
After they've done the tour of the area, they will come back and report to Master. It's not because we have finished our meeting, then the climatic change is going to end. Of course, climatic change is going to continue unabated.
各国专家齐聚讨论的议题涵盖60多个面向。
这次最重要的一个是碳市场要出来了，每件事情我们做一些消费，它的碳的成本是多少，就会变得更清楚。
So every time we consume something, we have to realize how much of carbon footprint are we creating. Actually, global change is not just affecting a few countries; it's really a global change. Even in the way we discard our old handphone is also affect climatic change. Give you some statistics in year 2020, and just looking at the 8 different types of matter, and just looking at the 8 matter, we actually have recycled 400 tons of waste matter. Can you see what is the impact if we don't do that? And because we did the recycling, instead of mining the metal, we actually save 350,000 ton of carbon. So you can see the impact is truly huge, and we must continue to ramp up the recycling effort. So it's truly that our actions in recycling and helping the earth goes as a big global impact. Hopefully before we reach 2050, we can really increase our saving of carbon footprint by 100 times. Sorry, by 100%.
看一下回顾带哈，这些回顾带都让我们去看清楚，就是说我们在4月份的一个讲师。
And these are the videos of what we have done in the past.
之后，各位知道全球暖化加剧，我们的干旱或是旱涝之间就已经变成是一种常态。 So basically, when we consume a lot and increase our carbon footprint, well, this is going to be ongoing. So it's something we cannot lose in our battle against it. So today we go a slightly more insight into this program. Now we would like to welcome Dr. Peng Qiming. We really love you to be with us because you have got positive energy. Hello everyone. We're really happy to be able to be with you. And we already know that we are actually facing the climate emergency. We would like to see you in person, so maybe you can show yourself other than just the PPT. Now we can see him. Now we like to share using the PPT.
相信待会同步的时候，我们借由这样的一个解说呢，分享，哎，很棒，我们掌声响起。
Wonderful! Now we can see.
好，那各位师兄师姐，大家好，我今天呢，这个
Dr. Peng is the General Manager of Weatherrisk Management Development Company. He's also the anchor of Daai TV weather station. So his program today is facing the climate emergency.
那今年的这个主题呢，叫做投资我们的星球。
So on the 20th of April, we have the anniversary of this program. We have this research, and we in 2030 California state, no more engulfed by wildfires. So it seems like a good news.
这样很好啊。可是呢，说真的，这是因为气候变迁。
Is it really good?
美国的加州呢，它整个森林呢不再有森林了哦，所以这个。
But it's because the previous wildfire has already consumed so much of the forest, so that's the reason why there's not much wildfire, because not much more left to burn. So this has become a very global trend.
以前不会红，不会受大家那么重视，现在会受到大家重视。
why is it that we esteem the weather change that is going on around us? Well, sometimes because of our weather change, we can actually cause us to stop work. Isn't it amazing that such devastating effect can happen to us? And then our cost of production is going to go up. And because cost of production will go up, less people can afford it, and consumption of our product will be less, and the orders coming in will definitely diminish. Our environment, society will have positively impact us, and people may withdraw their funds and their investment. And this will definitely cause us to have financial difficulty. In our World Economic Forum in 2022, we had the global report of global risk, and we divided our period into 3 different zones, from 0 to 2 years, and from 2 years to 5 years, and from 5 years to 10. So basically, these are the 3 periods that we are looking at, and every single time we reach a different period, we can see different statistics. So every time we come back, we say we hope the next period is going to be better than the previous. But is it really happening? So we can see that we are truly threatened by what is happening here. So from the period, we can see paradigm changes that's happening through the global climate scene. Despite all the pacts that have established, realized that some major countries like America have withdrawn from the pact. So when Trump came into power, immediately they withdrew from the pact. So our effort to gain positive climate change effect is taking a setback. We'll pass on to Sister Siu Ching. So our new climate pact is more ambitious, but we hope to limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade. But of course, you must understand that 1.5 degrees centigrade is our ideal aim. Will we achieve it? Is still a question mark. So sometimes we can come up with many ideas, but sometimes we may not be able to realize it. So sometimes despite our idea of 1.5 degree, we still reach a region of 2.5 to 3 degrees climate change. Maybe looking into the future, maybe by the year 2050, we will be able to achieve better standard and be able to reduce our global carbon footprint by much more and help to reduce the global warming or the speed of increase of global warming. So next time you look at it, whether you're Japan or you are USA, the minute you do not take care of the impact on the global, the carbon footprint, you will definitely increase your cost of production. So we really have to all have a collected effort to make sure that what we do will definitely bring about positive effect. So pass over to Sister Xiu Jing.
The latest report shows that there are more and more people paying attention to this. To the 4% are paying attention to this. In fact, in Taiwan, their main corporates like this Aztec Alta and UO Asus, they too. Internally, they also have their own sustainability program, recycling. And we could see that in Taiwan, all these big organizations together, they are trying to work together to sustain Mother Earth. With this good culture and maybe the good pressure from everyone, they have to do this. And others are doing it. I may as well I do it. With this, six already announced that they are in compliance. So they hope they can do it earlier. Now that everyone has grown, and we hope that in future there are 100 families could join this. Last week, Professor, he said that he could say that those in the frontliners, they are trying to bring forward the rest from behind to do this, join this effort, climate change effort. So hopefully all these big corporates, they could inspire the other smaller ones. But in reality, facing this climate, it's not only eating vegetarian. There are many other things that we need to do. We need to reduce the carbon emissions and as well as many others. We have to influence everyone, be it the corporates or even the small children. We have to influence it. It's all from our attitude. So the corporates, they are working hard on this sustainability. They are professors also opening some classes in university, joint effort with other university, other places to inform the public as well. In the past, to inform everyone that facing this climate change, we are not sure what to do, but we thought that in the past, I off the aircon, maybe I walk, I don't use transport, I eat more vegetarianism. This is all the 12 years ago poster. That's how we're doing it in presently. What should we do? We have to adapt to the present means. The housing, we have to do zero carbon waste. And water, all these resources, it must be zero wastage. Actually, there are a lot of new invention, and it's not easy on this path. Global, we look at this share of low carbon sources and coal in the world, electricity generation in the future. Maybe we explore nuclear, wind, solar. These definitely will be on uptrend in maybe in 30 years to 2050. A lot of things will be different from what we are seeing today. So now every country, they are trying to reduce the carbon emission. We hope that it could go to zero. So in future, our living, there are some ways. Every country, they are pushing towards this recycling, the agriculture, the way we use petrol, how do we wash our plates, our all these things we can still improve. Simply maybe to share during April 6, climate change 2022, the mitigations of climate change using the in the 6th assessment report. Everyone agreed that this is happening and it's getting worse. So in history, it's getting worse at the peak now. If we don't do it now, in the future, we don't even have a chance to do it. In the past, we are not, we try to keep the 1.5, but the fact is we are not on track. So we have to do it fast. The difference is that first, the solar, the wind, the solar, in the past, very expensive. Now they have reduced these photovoltaics to reduce the cost for this solar tapping. So more people could use it. So to do this carbon emission, we have to do it now. We don't wait until 2050 to do it. We have to do it from now. So all this, including the animals, discharge the methane from animals, we have to control it. Means 27% cut in animals, raising the animals. They have every country, everyone, they have to be part of it. They have to do this. So we have to do it now, not 2015. Else, we have to maybe 2070 only we can do it. It will only reduce by 2. It will reduce by 2% instead of 1.5. These are the traditional methods available in every sector. They can at least halve the emission by 2030. Be it energy, land use, industry, urban building, and transport. This time they have they mentioned about demand and services. And if demand and services we could have a major change, let's look at this power energy like this. Maybe in the future we have to reduce fossil fuel. We can't use it any longer. We have to use solar, the wind, zero coal usage. Second thing is on demand services, potential to bring down the global emissions by 40-70%. Maybe take the bicycle, even the shirt, the shoes that we are wearing. All this requires the materials to be changed. And of course, vegetarianism, it can help us. The computation, this is so long. We could change our living. We can reduce by 40-70%. That is very encouraging. In the past, we were talking about vegetarianism. We are also talking about combinations of vegetarianism and the way of our living. So long we could do it together, our lifestyle change, we can change it by 40-70. This is actually, in fact, faster than if we change the dynamic of the industries. Example, this is a good friend of Prof. She's Zhang Hui-mei. A few years ago, after vegetarianism, she has published this book. So everywhere, she will look for friends, those eating meat, and they will bring them to the veggie restaurants that are very good. They have this Michelin standard, the very good restaurant. So it created a trend. Like Kaohsiung, they have a special 3 Michelin stars, so they're naming this, giving these restaurants Michelin. This is so they want everyone to come and eat veggie. This is a trend that everyone is trying to create. Prof is thinking if everyone they could have this upgrade all this with Michelin standards, so that more and encourage more people to eat veggie. Of course, at the same time, we also have to be mindful that that the meat, because of the increase in population, it's on increasing trend. So more people are eating meat because there are more people, the demand is more. Actually, that's what we are all very concerned of. This is the chain of food. There are a lot of ways we can do it. So basically, Master said, we need to eat veggie. It is true. This is the only way, the remedy. Another important is the price of the food. We know that the soybean, a lot of grains, recently is an increasing trend. Because of this, you see the peak it created the highest amount in the past because of weather. We never thought that it's because of Ukraine war. Even the smaller grains, it's also on an increasing trend. In the past, normally because of climate, and a lot of countries that are poorer, they will have difficulty in finding food. So it will make worse. More wars will happen. So the safety of the food security. So if you imagine that it will threaten the food security, many countries could not eat it. And imagine a lot of grains, some more they're using it to feed animals. It's getting lesser amount for humans. Another part on the transport, like there are a lot of technology. So the next car you must buy, or you should consider electric or the hydrogen, the futuristic. Even the places that we are staying, the cities and urban areas, we have to encourage this green, sustainable living. Another part is the building, the future, it must be net zero emission. So when you buy future housing in future, you have to see whether they are zero emission. So if it requires a lot of electricity, a lot of aircon, so we have to stay in a more environment-friendly housing. Each of us, we have 80 to 90% we are spending indoors. So how to really spend indoors at the same time we could feel more comfortable, at the same time reduce the carbon emission. It's very important. We hope to be mindful on this thing. A good friend of Prof is another principle he mentioned in building. He said facing this flooding all depends on us, on the relationship between us and the earth. We have to be more mindful to have a more harmonious, so there will be lesser disasters, reduce the carbon emission. Truly, as we buy housing or materials to improve the house that we're saying now, because it can create impact a lot, 25% on the environment. Another part is on the industry, using materials more efficiently, reducing recycling, minimizing waste that is currently under use. So we have to be mindful into these materials. Not only Taiwan, the whole worldwide, they are looking into this. This is something learning to join this. Another part on this removal of carbon dioxide. This machine will absorb the carbon. This is good, but then to absorb it, meaning you have to install a lot of, install this electricity, right? Then it's back to that. So we are trying to have this, think of more ways to remove the carbon dioxide. Plant more trees, that is definitely better. Good way. Like land use right now. A lot of us like to do faster way of farming. We have to be mindful of the organic or non-organic. We have to take care of the land. It's very important. At the moment, facing this climate change, this year is about closing investment gaps. What is it to invest? Because we found out that presently, this earth to manage the 1.5%, not only government or everyone, when we do investment, we have to be mindful. So meaning the financial flow is 3 to 6 times lower than levels needed by 2020 to limit warming to be low. So we have to reduce the financial flow. So be mindful of that. So it requires everyone's effort together. This part is to do, aside from us, our change in the daily living, we need a change in the policy, regulatory and economic instruments, effort from the government, that only it is more effective. We have been trying to do this, like a friend of Prof, he was been trying to ask every restaurant, through the restaurants, the vegetarian restaurant, to promote their personal effort. Sorry, the friend is at the government side. They are trying to use a policy to promote encourage the veggie restaurant side, so they can. So it's a good cycle from the authority side. Other parts like technology and innovation, hopefully to push forward low emissions through technological innovation, not the present one. Maybe not so effective. All of us to be more creative to change the environment. So basically, the evidence is really very clear. It's not about to keep doubting it. So the time is for action now. Lastly, the proposal. In the past, we often mention about living. We have to eat more veggie. We have to use recyclable clothing, the living way, lifestyle. With the announcements on 6th of April, it's really very clearly stated that we have to change the living, make investment properly into industry that has zero emission. Each of us, we can do it, but it requires more concerted and honesty from everyone. to encourage more to join us and together with us walking on this path. Not only changing our action, we also have to implement to practice the new change, all this. We hope that everyone can accept and join us and connect with international family. If we could have this, then we could participate more and whole worldwide, everyone can do it together after they understand what we are doing. This is to create a good cycle. It is another thing is not necessarily always to have our activity, and then we have to be mindful if all this each of us could adopt the green attitude in life. We are very grateful to Prof. Peng. Actually, you can talk very fast, and our transcript teams, their hearts also beat pumping faster. You still have extra 10 minutes. Do you want to share more? Okay. Or even your laughter is full of energy. And maybe you can think of some stories. Our Thailand Tzuan sister said to 1.5% increase is a great issue that everyone have to do it together, family, industries, and government. Eating vegetarians also the lifestyle, so it reduce the carbon emission. We are very grateful to Prof. Peng for the reminder. If you have any more reminder, please share with us. We never thought that from the beginning. We thought that the zero emissions is like from handphone looking at the story because the number is really alarming. It can tell 1,000 stories. So Professor today has given us a lot of info for us to know that at this present moment, we need to quickly join this effort. We need everyone's effort at this place. We would like to pass this time back to Prof. Peng. Can remind us more? Thank you. I have two stories. First, just now in the beginning, you mentioned about being struck by lightning, right? Actually, the whole world, they have more lightnings everywhere. They have it. Actually, the lightning is quite serious, no consequences if being struck by it. Last time they said the lightning will strike the bad people, but actually it's not longer. So you have to be observant of the weather forecast. If it's dark and the rain coming, lightning, don't go out and strike by this lightning. Every year, there are people being struck by lightning. I'm not sure any of you have such experience that if you really struck by lightning, it is very serious. Actually, not only surface the skin burn, but can be worse than that, fatal. And we know that it's getting worse. So everyone be more mindful as you walk out. The second is just now the Thailand sister mentioned. I have a Thai friend, a very close friend. He is a minister in Thailand. 2 years ago, because before the pandemic reached, he came to Taiwan and came for a visit, and I brought him to Tzu Chi recycling afternoon. There was even a recording on that, and he was so touched because he never thought that all these elderly bodhisattva recycling volunteers would be there so diligently doing recycling, and they cherish Mother Earth so much. He was very tough. And this year, Professor Pearl, he received the Friends news. Chai, how Tzu Chi in Thailand is operating. If Thailand in Tzu Chi could also participate more in recycling, and everyone can do more in Thailand. So in future, we hope that every brothers and sisters from Thailand can help him, because Chai, I heard that he's being transferred. Apparently, he's being promoted. He made his election. I'm not sure of his political party, but we're together. We must support all this effort to love Mother Earth, cherish Mother Earth. So asking Prof. Pearl asking if Tzu Chi Thailand can help us to get more, inspire more in Thailand to join Tzu Chi. Another one is these 2 days. Not sure if you noticed in White House, US, they have a notice in announcement every year. Every year, 2 to 3% they are spending on budget for the climate change, the risk, because once a typhoon comes, it will cause a lot of havoc. So US side, they estimated the budget that maybe up to 7%. Wow. So we could look at this, it's getting bigger, the higher amount. If you don't want to increase from 2 to 7, you may as well increase your investment in protecting Mother Earth now. That is something what we can work harder on. Example is like maybe what you have seen the industries. Today we could see that some factories, industries, they are trying to reduce carbon emission. Like Prof. Peng, he said during the COP26, that point of time he saw UK, Glasgow agreement, so that everyone, all the countries, they could participate into global emission, reduce it. So they can only invest. The companies can only invest in companies that has these policies in the green companies. There's some people talking about this washing. Because all the companies have to do it. So there's still some company, if under unethical one, they'll use another way to do it. So have to be mindful. So we are very grateful to the additional stories from the Thailand stories. So we are very grateful to Thailand, the Tsigwan sister, because of her feedback. Now you can inspire Prof. Peng. He really have friends connected to everywhere in the world. Actually, he, aside from taking part in this freeze weather, this Prof. Peng has also undertaken a lot of tasks to take care of this Mother Earth, so that Japan sisters also very grateful to Prof. Peng. Thank you. And vegetarianism is not enough. We have to do more. We have to care for Mother Earth. To invest our Mother Earth, this depends on our action. Soha sister also quite wrong. So Pichuan sister also very grateful to this Prof. Peng for this sharing. Safeguarding Mother Earth is something what we should do. Everyone's effort to vegetarianism all start from you and me. When our sister Tuan Xing Ling, they said, in the past, they said, recently there are a lot of this ball of ice, big and small, destroying the havoc to the housing. So it becomes like a bit critical. So because everyone ultimately will be these climate refugees, so it's scary. Only vegetarianism and reducing carbon emission can save us. So we are very grateful to Prof. Peng, because today he's very sincerely wish to come, but because of the pandemic, so that's why last minute we changed it to online. But he's still very professional, and we can listen and we can see we really need everyone's energy to love and protect Mother Earth. And we're very grateful to Prof. We hope that you can come again to share. This platform is not